Good morning, everyone. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning, recipes, a little bit of everything. It's 36 degrees here in Texas today. Yesterday it was 82. We are going up and down on our weather pattern here, but I still think that we're going to have an early spring. I also think that we're going to have a much better spring than we did last year. You may recall that we had a drought starting in September of 2017 and we didn't get hardly any rain throughout the spring. I got a couple of freezes in April after I planted, which really stunted the garden, so I'm really hoping for a better year this year. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and plant some of my cool weather plants. I'm going to put some carrots in the ground, and I'm going to put some spinach and some cabbage. And this year I'm going to do it in my raised bed, flower bed, my raised bed garden. Last year I put the bell peppers and jalapeno peppers and stuff in this raised bed garden, hoping that they would do a little bit better because this area floods out and I wanted to use this area, so that's why we built this up. But they didn't do good, and I don't know if it was because of the freezes that we got last year or if it just didn't like the location. So I did transplant some back into my big garden over there that I'll be planting on March 22nd this year. And they came back and they did pretty good, but they didn't do as good as the year before. So this year, here's to a better year, and let's get started putting these things in the ground. Okay, you can see I got a lot of the wood bark mulch out of here. I don't want that in my soil because sometimes it does drain the nitrogen out of the soil. So I'm getting as much of it out as I can. And now I want to take my pitchfork and turn the soil. You can see there's some pretty good stuff in here. But before I put my seeds in, I want to turn this up. It's set here the whole season. And then I'll add some compost matter, organic matter, and then I'll use topsoil over my carrot seeds. It's really good and soft, really easy to work with right now. We've had a lot of rain this year, as you all know, so it's going to be much easier planting in this garden and in my big garden in the next 5 or 6 weeks. Okay guys, I'm quite pleased about it. Look, this is some really good soil. I'm not going to have to add too much to it. I'm going to go ahead and put some organic matter in it to kind of give it a little boost and get it ready to help my seeds germinate, make sure I get all my weeds out of here. So let's get started putting my organic matter in there. Wish the rest of my garden would do this easy, but it's not. It'll take me about 3 days to get it planted in the spring, but it's so worth it. So now, let's work this in a little bit. You can see with my pitchfork it just turns quite well. Again, you want to work this in because you don't want it to burn your seeds up. Okay, you can see I got it worked in really good. Now I'm going to put my topsoil on top of all this and put my carrot seeds in. This is looking excellent. I'm getting excited, guys. Okay, I'm getting ready to plant my cosmic purple carrots. I do get many of my seeds from Baker Heirloom. I also have started buying from Ever Wild Farms, and I'll show you that in just a sec. So the way I'm going to plant my carrot seeds is we're just going to do a broadcast spread. These don't need much soil on top of them, so I'm going to spread them out and then I'm going to lightly rake over them. I'm only going to do about half of my raised bed because I think that will be plenty. And I'm going to save the other half of my bed for spinach and cabbage. Now I don't want to disturb them too much, and it's misty out here today, so it's a good day to plant because it'll keep them moist, and we want to keep them moist until they germinate. We have a week of planned rain, so that's going to be perfect as well. Okay, so we're set there with our carrots. Now let's get started on our cabbage and our spinach. I'm going to separate my bed about where I think the carrots went so I know where I can go and where I can't go. So here is the other seed company that I use that is organic, non-GMO. It is Everwild Farms. And I had excellent luck, guys, with these back when I planted my turnips in the fall and some of my beets. Beets, I'm having a hard time with those except in the springtime. I'll do those again. But anyway, I like Everwild Farms, number one. They're a Christian company and they put scripture on their packs. But also, they come in this mylar, which is resealable, and you can keep them, you know, a very long time. So I'm going to start putting my cabbage in first. Okay, we need to plant the cabbage about 4 weeks before our last spring frost, which is going to put us about the middle of March, so that's about perfect. We're going to put them a 1/4 inch in the ground, and we're going to set them about 8 inches apart. So I'm going to put a couple of seeds, and then I'll thin them out when they start coming up. About 8 to 12 inches apart. Break up the soil, just about 1/4 inch deep. A couple of seeds in there, pat them down. These are little bitty seeds. All right, we'll watch these over the next week and hope we see them germinate and come up. If not, I'll replant maybe next weekend, but let's watch them together. Here's the variety of spinach I'm going to grow. I grew these last year and it was absolutely delicious and they did wonderful. This also is a Baker heirloom seed. I'm growing the Bloomsdale Longstanding. This is pretty much like the cabbage. You plant it 4 weeks before your last frost. And so let's get started. About a 1/4 inch deep, and I'm just going to make a line of my spinach because I can thin it out as it comes as well. And this grew actually probably real close all the way through May and into June last year, and then when it started getting hot, that was it. I'm going to make another small roll here just in case. Give it a better chance of coming up. I got birds out here and they may find these seeds, so I want to make sure and give it good coverage. So there you have it, guys, the first planting of 2019. We got our carrots in the ground. We've got our cabbage in the ground and we have our spinach in the ground. Can't wait to see it start coming up. So stay tuned. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and click the like button. We have lots more gardening videos coming up. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great year. I can just feel it. Take care. God bless and have a wonderful weekend.